He whispered to a biker. Nobody came to my graduation. 120 Hell's Angels showed up that night. The sun was setting over the quiet streets of Riverside, casting long shadows across the empty sidewalks. Inside his modest apartment, 14-year-old Cory Bennett sat alone on the edge of his bed, still wearing his graduation cap, crooked, slightly wrinkled, but worn with pride. His eyes were red from silent tears he refused to let fall. Outside, the world celebrated another milestone, but inside, silence echoed louder than any cheer. Earlier that day, Cory had walked across the middle school stage to receive his diploma. No one clapped for him. No proud parent waved from the crowd. No sibling snapped a photo. Just rows of strangers. And then, nothing. He'd waited by the gate for an hour after the ceremony, hoping against hope that maybe they'd just been late. But no car pulled up. No familiar voice called his name. Just silence. As he trudged home, shoulders slumped under the weight of disappointment, a deep rumble broke through the quiet afternoon. A motorcycle slowed beside him. The rider, a towering man with a leather vest, tattoos snaking up his arms, and a beard that looked like it had weathered storms, pulled off his helmet. "You okay, kid?" the biker asked, his voice rough but kind. Cory hesitated. He'd been taught to fear men like this, men with patches, chains, and scars. But something in the stranger's eyes felt different, safe even. I just graduated," Cory whispered, voice cracking. But nobody came. Those 5 words hung in the air like smoke. The biker, Kyle Brennan, didn't say much. He just nodded slowly, as if those words carried more weight than Cory could imagine. "Mind if I walk with you a while?" They talked. Not much at first, but Cory, starved for someone to listen, found himself pouring out everything. The missed birthdays, the empty fridge, the nights he studied by flashlight because the electricity got cut off again. Kyle listened without judgment, without pity, just presence. When they reached Cory's building, Kyle placed a heavy hand on the boy's shoulder. "You did good today, Cory. Real good. Don't ever forget that." Then he left. But Kyle didn't go far. That evening, while Cory sat alone eating cold beans from a can, his doorbell rang. He opened it and froze. Standing in the hallway wasn't just Kyle. Behind him stood dozens of bikers, men and women in black leather, boots scuffed from miles of road, faces hardened by life, but eyes soft with purpose. And they kept coming, down the stairs, around the corner, from parked Harleys lining the street. 120 members of the Hell's Angels. Frank Garrison, the club's president, stepped forward holding a plaque engraved with Cory's name and the words, "For courage, perseverance, and heart." "We heard you graduated," Frank said, voice steady, "and we don't let our people go unnoticed." What followed wasn't just a party, it was a homecoming. Neighbors spilled out of their apartments, drawn by laughter, music, and the smell of grilled food. Strangers became friends. Kids played tag between motorcycles. Someone brought a cake. Another handed Cory a brand new laptop for high school, they said. But more than gifts, they gave him something rarer, belonging. Over the next weeks, the Hell's Angels didn't disappear. They showed up. For parent-teacher conferences, since no one else would, for school supply runs, for weekend rides where Cory learned about loyalty, hard work, and second chances. They set up a fund for his education, assigned mentors, made sure he never ate alone again. Even Principal Harold Wagner, once wary of the club's reputation, began working with them because he saw what they saw in Cory: potential, worth, a future worth fighting for. Years later, when Cory walked across the high school stage, this time with a sea of leather-clad angels roaring his name, he didn't just carry a diploma. He carried proof that kindness wears many faces, sometimes even ones the world fears. Because sometimes the people you're told to avoid are the very ones who see you, really see you, when everyone else looks away. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more real-life tales of hope, healing, and second chances to millions around the world. Drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? And remember, you are never truly alone. Sometimes your family finds you on a motorcycle. Thanks for watching.